I remember growing up, I was always the bigger child. I realized it in first grade because I was already bigger than my sister that was 2 years older than me.
Their other sisters were just built different, you know. They were built more like my wife and myself, and Ashton is built more like on her grandma's side.
People would say little comments like, "Oh, you're bigger than the other Riner kids." I'm like, why would you say that to a girl, like a little girl?
I could see the beautiful girl that she was and is, and what she was going to become, and she just struggled in seeing it at that moment. I'm glad that her dad pushed her to see that she was built for strength and she's beautiful.
My dad came up to me when I was 8 years old and he goes, you're gonna be my superstar. You're gonna throw javelin and you're gonna throw javelin for BYU. And I looked at him all weird and I was like, whatever, Dad. I'm gonna be a sprinter like you. That's just what we do. And he goes, nope, you're gonna throw the javelin at BYU. And that was that.
Just because of her size and athleticism more than anything, I knew she'd be good at that. She was a state champ. She still holds the state record. And we knew with her throwing like that, that'd get her a scholarship.
My dad always saw the potential and the strength, and I just saw a fat little girl. People say, you're just saying that so you can, I just didn't see anything special, and my dad definitely did. I had the most amazing freshman year. I placed super high at nationals. That was the year I was like, okay, I can be really good at this. And then worked super hard all of off season, got to my sophomore year of college. Very first throw, I tore my UCL in my arm. Very first throw. My world came crumbling down. Javelin was my escape from the real world. And I just remember calling my dad saying, it's over, I'm done.
I tried to calm her down, say, hey, you know, we'll get this surgery. And then I did a lot of studying up on Tommy John surgery and how successful they can come back from it. And, you know, just got her pumped back up and she had Tommy John. It was devastating that day, I'll tell you that.
My junior year, after I just came back from a torn UCL, I worked super hard. And then what I like to say, I got super sick. I went to someone that I thought I could really trust and just get my feelings out. And I said, hey, I'm not feeling good about myself. I feel ugly, I feel fat. And she says, Ashton, stop. You're literally perfect. Like, get over yourself. And I just stopped and I said, okay.
She would be hungry, like, and want to eat, but she wouldn't on purpose because she felt like every time she did, it would affect how she looked in some way or another. And so for her, I mean, a lot of times it was eating, you know, tiny little bits of things here and there throughout the day just to kind of get by. But really, like, she was struggling, kind of, in almost starving herself in a way, just to try to fit a certain mold or a way that she thought that she needed to look at that time.
My husband, well, he was my fiance at the time, goes, maybe you should just track your calories. Like, let's see. And I was like, okay. And I started doing it. And by about like 5:30 at night, I was at 700 calories. At first it was like, whoa, that's a lot. And then my husband was like, do you know how many calories you burn a day? And I just didn't care. I was so depressed at the time that I was like, yeah, whatever. I remember just not thinking anything of it because I've had these thoughts before. Again, this was in the middle of the season and my throws started to decline. It got worse and worse and worse. And then I remember getting to regionals that year, and I remember standing on the runway like, Ashton, feel something, please. Like, just feel anything. Feel sad, feel mad. And I just remember feeling completely numb, didn't care. I just wanted to go lay in bed and just not talk to anyone.
I absolutely loved the way that she looked at all moments that we've been together. And it didn't really matter what I said to her or what I, you know, did to show her that she looks beautiful. But in her mind, it was definitely a battle that she was facing every day between what she was being told. And it doesn't really matter sometimes what's coming in from outside voices. It's really just what's between, you know, her two eyes and what she's seeing.
People ask me, what was the turning point? Like, what clicked? And I remember my husband kind of sitting me down saying, we gotta change. Like, what can I do? And I was like, I never want to feel like that again. I never want to feel like a loser. I want to think highly of myself, and I want to think that other people are thinking highly of myself. And I remember that day, me and my husband made a meal plan. I didn't give a crap what that scale looked like.
It was definitely a battle that she had to fight every single day. Like, it wasn't something that ever came easy, and it wasn't something that she could really hold on to for a long time. It was a daily battle. Like, she had to wake up every day and try to, you know, battle her mind, knowing that it's gonna take what it's gonna take to be able to achieve that goal, and then being willing to sacrifice, you know, other things in order to achieve that.
I really wanted to be this skinny little fast girl, and I learned that I'm not all that. I have power. I have a different strength than being the skinny little fast girl. I'm powerful, I'm tall, I'm strong, I'm lengthy, and I found my own strengths that I didn't think were strengths at first.
2022, she started the season and she was back at 100%. She was great, she was moving forward, and things started clicking.
Then I remember stepping on that runway at regionals, and I was so confident in myself. I was like, this is nothing but a thing. My very first throw, I think I threw 57 meters or something like that. I was like, okay, I'm good. So again, I'm super confident, and then I go to nationals.
One thing that a lot of the girls there were saying is that they were so surprised by her because she literally wasn't even at the national tournament the year before. So most of these girls knew each other, and they were kind of like talking, and they're like, who's this new girl coming out of nowhere who they haven't seen in several years because she hasn't really competed in, you know, 3 years. But it was cool to see her just, she was dialed in. She did everything the same way. She gets super jacked up and super energetic, just like she always does.
I stepped up on that runway, and I had this sense of just, I'm ready. And I just remember feeling like this 20-pound weight just lifted off my shoulders, like, oh, it's over. I finally proved myself that I did this, and all these trials that I went through are worth something.
Nobody's ever gonna take that away from her. The most satisfying thing out of all is to watch her go through adversity. She's got to live out a great dream, you know, won a national championship. It's been very successful throughout her career here. And so, as a dad, couldn't be more proud.
My shoulder's gone, my hips are feeling it, my back's feeling it. So in the back of my mind, I knew that this was probably my last ride. And I remember just spinning this javelin in my hand and thinking of all the people I'm so grateful for who put so much time and effort of their own time into me. And this picture of me staring at these javelins was kind of staring at the last 10 years of all the hard work, all the preparation I did.
She definitely was just ready for the next chapter in life.
I've always wanted to be a mom. I don't even think I could be a mom because of some things. I don't look the same. I do not look like a collegiate athlete. I don't have the time to look like a collegiate athlete, and that's okay. I have time to look like Jersey's mom, and that's okay with me. That's what I want to look like, is Jersey's mom. I look at Jersey and I'm just like, man, I really hope you never have to feel what I felt, and I hope you have more self-confidence than I did. Don't compare yourself to other people. You're perfect and you are a child of God.